And there we are. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Can you guess where I'm at? Okay, I'm just going to invite everybody to put in the chat wherever you're at, whether you're here in the sacred space or if you're someplace else. I'm just wondering if you're curious as to where I'm at in the world. Okay, so we are ready to rock and roll. And I welcome you today. Today is an extraordinary day. We're going to be talking a lot about love, a little bit more conversation on love. And in addition to doing all of that, we're going to celebrate in great and wonderful ways. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to welcome everybody here into the sacred space. And here is our opening song. You're Welcome Here by John Stringfellow. No, not Stringfellows. The Stringfellows are on my mind. John Stringer. Did I do it right, Amber?
Yes, ma'am. Here we go.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
There is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. I see with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah.
come back to the light a little bit later, but we're going to smile now. We're going to be in a space of unconditional love. And as we're in that space of unconditional love, we're blessing everything. We're blessing our technology this morning. And as we bless our technology, we honor it right where we are. We're knowing grace, we're knowing God, and we're knowing peace and harmony. And there we are. Look at us. We're all together. And I hear these words: all things work together for good for those that love the Lord, their presence. So, you know what that means when we start to hear that in the morning? That means that there's an undergirding that is taking place. We're going to have a spiritual moment today. We're going to have a God experience. And that undergirding, it reminds me of grandmother. Maybe we'll hear a little bit about grandmother. I'm going to start talking about grandmother that way so that we can be keen and awake, because I believe there's a grandmother for each and every one of us. But right now, I think it's time for us to have some time with our Reverend Larry Hobby. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday this morning. Today, my reading is from Ernest Home 365. It's titled, I Open Myself to Greater Love. And this is a quote from Corinthians 13:1. 1 Corinthians 13:1 says, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am becoming as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. So says love is more than a sentiment. It is a need, a hunger, a thirst that is perfectly natural. Anyone who thinks he can live and be happy without it does not know what he's talking about, psychologically, emotionally, or spiritually. Love is the beginning and end, the impulse in nature that will not be denied. So let us think back beyond the individual to the source of all life. I believe that the whole universe is the givingness of the creative spirit to the delight of its own being into the creation that is itself in that creation. Love is the principle of life, for it is the nature of everything to give. Only the one who loves so much that there is no longer any room for hate will ever arrive at the place where, if there may be hate, he will never know it. We are afraid of greatness because we are so tied down to littleness. We clutch the littleness anxiously and jealously, but so precariously to our hearts. It is essential to see beyond the littleness to something bigger. None of us is as perfect in expression as we ought to be. So the challenge to each of us is to be great enough to rise in love, in charity, through understanding and compassion. Love is the lodestone of life. I respond lovingly to all persons, recognizing that the spiritual life is the real life. I surround myself with love, the key to joyous living. So let's just turn within as we embody and embrace that. So I'm just knowing that there's only one life. That life is infinite and eternal. That life is the life of everything and everybody. We live and move and have our being in this life. Because knowing this truth that each of us are spiritual beings having this human experience. So we just be in total joy and happiness and love this morning, just knowing who and what we are. And with this truth, I know that this morning's service is truly blessed. I know that everything that transpires is truly blessed. And I'm blessing Reverend Jerry as she gives her message. I know this message touches everyone that's in this listening view, everyone that's here, everyone that's on any of our social medias. So I'm just blessing this time. And I know that the message is great. I'm blessing our 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 special tech, Amber, knowing that she's truly blessed and she's a blessing for us. So I know that everything that transpires today is in divine right order. And so I'm just blessing everything. I'm blessing each and every one of us that's on Zoom this morning, knowing that each of us are blessed in a wonderful way. And I'm also blessing every church, every synagogue, every temple, every mosque, every place of worship this morning, knowing that the Spirit of the loving God is in and through each and every one of us in all of our spiritual habitats. So I'm just giving thanks, knowing that today is the day that Spirit is made. And so I'm just thankful, knowing that all is in divine right order this morning, knowing that everything and the rest of our days are truly blessed. Everything that we do today is blessed. And that's for everyone. And so I'm grateful. I give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Unmute.
So, yeah, you're a little delayed, system, but that's okay. We are grateful, and look at him. He's articulating grandmother. He's saying this is the day that Spirit made. We're gonna have fun today. I want you to smile. Part of our process of understanding and growing in spirit is having fun and enjoying life. And when we have fun and we enjoy life, it makes a great difference. So I love your invocation, and I'm thanking you for that invocation. And now what I'd like for us to do is to continue with the invocation, and we're going to hear the song You Are Light by Denise Rosier, because I want you to understand who you are, who we are. We're pure light. Take it away, Amber.
You change dust into gardens, pieces into peace, tears into fountains, chains into release. You are doubt into action, vision renewed, perfect creation unfolding in you. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams burn down to dust into gardens, pieces into peace.
Wasn't that wonderful? I just have to give it some more. Got to send some more love. I'm going to invite us all to send love today. We're going to build up this synergy of love, and we are the light, and the reason we are here is to magnify the light. Last week we had an opportunity to experience the light magnified. I'm going to tell you, before I even got a chance to hear last week's service, I had so many calls, people telling me, oh my God, the service was extraordinary. And the reason it was extraordinary is we called upon the light. And that was the light that was in Dr. Eliza Swardarsky. Let's give her some love. I had an opportunity to go back and hear the service. And I'm going to say I was spiritually fed. Thank you, Reverend. Listen here, I'm calling you Reverend again. You better be careful. I see you, and I see you guys traveling. And let me see my oh my God, grandchildren. I'm calling them my God grandchildren.
She's
You
calling
guys
her.
are my God grandchildren. Hi, God grandchildren.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. You're my God grandchildren. Look at you guys. You look so cute. Oh my goodness.
Thank
So
you.
much love.
Sending you love too. But you did an extraordinary job, and the presentation was wonderful. People are still talking about it. So that means that we get to bring it on again because life is ever evolving. And I'm so glad that you guys are here. This is a sacred moment. Today is a sacred day for me. I'm seeing beauty all around me. It warms my heart to see families together. And we are a spiritual family too. And part of what knits and brings us together is the spirit of how we show up in the world, how we engage, and how we bless and honor the universe. So, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to hear a song, not a song, we are going to hear a story. And this story is a true story about an experience, how utilizing these spiritual practices make a difference. Our theme today is the turbulence of love. Because you know what? We see beauty all around us. We just saw this beautiful family, and we all belong to a beautiful family. Sometimes we forget we belong to a beautiful family. But we're going to be talking about how that love can help us weather storms. So keep trying to figure out where I'm at. You can type in the chat where you think I am. So I'm telling the Swardarsky family that if they figured out where I am, just take mom's phone and just type in the app where you think I'm at. She likes to talk while we're doing this anyway, which I love. I love the feedback. So wherever you're at, if you guys just put in the chat where you think I'm at. But anyway, let's look at elevate your spirit right now as we tell the story, and I'm going to tell you about grandmother a little bit more. Hello, everyone. My name is Reverend Jerry Hobby, and I have the honor of serving as the spiritual director of Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth Focused Ministry. Today, I get to share a story with you for elevating your spirit, recognizing the value of spiritual practice. My grandmother was an evangelist minister, and prayer was the heartbeat of her interaction with us. That practice became the greatest gift my elders gave me. The knowing that in every situation, prayer was the most powerful tool we have. Let me share a time when that truth was tested. When my husband, Reverend Larry, and I were newlyweds living in Rancho Cucamonga, California, we often drove into Los Angeles for training. One late evening, as we headed home down the freeway into steep, congested traffic, the Kellogg Hill area. Larry looked at me and said, "Jerry, we have a problem." The transmission had gone out. We were in an old Hyundai stick shift, and if Larry stopped the car, it would never start again. Traffic was running down behind us, rushing, and it was dangerous. In that moment, I turned to the one thing I knew. I prayed. I began a spiritual mind treatment affirming divine order and protection. And as I prayed, something remarkable happened. Larry, who wasn't even a practitioner yet, seemed to be guided intuitively, step by step. It was as if Spirit had taken over the wheel. Every lane opened up as it was needed. Every light turned green in his favor, and what would have been congestion became a dance of clear passage. We made it from the 10 to the 15, all the way to the foothill exit. And finally, as we rolled into our apartment complex, the car gave its last breath at the security gate. And wouldn't you know it, the security guard was waiting, smiling, and said, "Looks like you just need a push to your stall." That night, we arrived home safely, held by a presence greater than our fear. The next morning, our mechanic, a trusted friend, was there to repair the car. Everything unfolded in perfect divine order. And so I say, there is a power in prayer. And when we pray, not from panic, but from alignment, doors open, guidance comes, and grace carries us safely through. My prayer for you is that you continue to grow in your own practice of prayer and discover again and again how Spirit meets us with exactly what we need. And if you like to deepen your practice, I invite you to join practitioner Sandy Jenkins every second Saturday for the Pray Up Clinic. It's a 30-minute immersion in the art and the spirit of prayer. In this playful, practical space, Sandy guides us into mastering the 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment, helping us to transform our power, our presence, and manifestation. Come, pray yourself up, discover the freedom and the joy of intentional prayer. And use the QR code to access this event and other events offered in this community. And there we have that. So you know what? I was so inspired. Spirit was working through me. I'm going to tell you more about Spirit working through me over the past, I'm going to say 48 hours. But anyway, I was so inspired. I said, I need another song. I think I'm following Dr. Liza's pattern. I need a song. Can we have one more song? And this one here is about the power of prayer. Take it away, Amber.
Something stirs in my soul when I pray. Soft as a whisper it calls, come away. Centered in a sacred space, Spirit meets me face to face, and I'm welcome every day. Every day. Every Everything falls into place when I pray. The doors of my heart open wide, unafraid. Filled with the power as my knees hit the floor, lifting me higher than I was before. And I am changed when I pray. I pray when I pray. I pray in peace that's surpassing all understanding. All is lifted up. Loved ones, enemies, blessings, worries. God is there for me. Thank you pours out of me when I pray, like a choir breaking free, just like rain. I pray. Oh, I pray. Something stirs in my soul when I pray.
That was so good. That was so good, so rich, and so very powerful. Over the past 48 hours, I think I've been like very, very busy. Lots of stuff has been going on, lots of great things, and I'm so grateful, so grateful. And I'm grateful because we're talking about today, talking about the turbulence of love. But what I want you to know is that the most important thing that I want us all to remember is that love is worth it. Love is what we are born of. Love is the most important thing. So, beloveds, before we begin, I want us to take a deep breath together. And I want you to feel your feet on the ground. I'm standing up with my feet on the ground. And if Marcus was our instructor, maybe one day he'll be our instructor, supporting us and learning how to dance in this thing called life. He's a great dancer. That may happen one day. You never know what Spirit's going to do. And then what he tells you to do is get yourself grounded. So I want you to get yourself grounded. And what I want you to do is I want you to move into that sacred space. One of the ways I like to move is to roll my shoulders, just to allow my body to loosen up. And if you feel comfortable, take your hands and place your hands over your heart. And let us arrive right here, right now, in the here and now. And I want us to breathe. And as we breathe, we let go of everything that may have taken place this week, where there seemed to be challenges, turbulence, noise, rushing, uncertainty. We're just letting all of that go. And in this sacred space, we know that we're safe. We get to pause. We get to breathe. We get to remember, even in turbulence, love always carries us. Love is our default. Just breathe that in and anchor into that space right now. And as we anchor into that space, I have some things I want to share with you, but I just want you to know that when we turn everything over to love, everything has a way of working itself out. I just want to say, we had Reverend Larry had the assignment of being a practitioner today, and he couldn't get on the Zoom. He was running into glitches. And he says, I need your assistance. So I went in because, in my household, I'm the IT tech. As a matter of fact, we have a compound, even though it's around the corner, we're connected that way. But I like to think of us as that energy surge for the entire neighborhood. And they come over to me when they have challenges there. So I'm the IT tech in the households. And so we went in and we did some work, and our lead tech, our special person, I heard Reverend Larry call her the special person. We all are special and we honor her and we're grateful we resolved that problem. But to me, it was just like being on a plane, and when you feel the turbulence begin to shake, just enough to remind you that you're not always in control. This is a reminder that we're not always in control. Love is like that sometimes because it rattles us, it unsettles us, and it invites us to something even greater. And that's the most important part. When love is calling you, it always calls you to something greater. When love calls you, love asks you to grow and to expand. So this is an important part for us to remember as we begin to move forward. And we're less than, I think, 30 days, according to Sandy, into moving into a new season. And when we move into new seasons, things have a way of shaking itself up, and we begin to move, and many changes take place. And we're having another shakeup. So it is important for us to be aware of that. So let me ask you, where in your life is love shaking things up right now? Where is love pulling you out of your comfort zone? Because that's part of what it does, nudging you to grow, to heal, and to become. I want you to think about that, and feel free to post in the chat your thoughts. Now, today, we're going to again experience and talk more about the turbulence of love. And I'm not saying we're going to experience turbulence of love. We may be in the midst of something right now. But I want you to remember that love, when we talk about love, I want us to look at this as not a threat, but as a holy invitation to grow. Sometimes we take those holy invitations to grow, we don't know what we're moving into. I was saying the past 48 hours have been kind of busy for me because Spirit has been percolating. I've been given 2 assignments today. I have double duty. I finish here and I get to go and be present with the family. And part of the thing that we're being present with is we're being present with the elders in our family. And 41 years ago, I did not see it from that perspective. I didn't see life from that perspective. 41 years ago, matter of fact, yesterday, I was attending a wedding. And I was just so happy that I got to be in a wedding and I got to be the maid of honor. I'm just going to say, I was very young. I was in my 20s. The early 20s, that's where I was at. And I had an opportunity to be in a wedding, and I got to be the maid of honor. and it was wonderful. So the responsibility of being a maid of honor has carried on 41 years later. I get to be the person to bring things together for a sacred and a sacred celebration. Yesterday would have been 41 years that we had that celebration. Tomorrow is the 41st anniversary, according to our calendar, of my brother-in-law and my sister's anniversary. So I've been spending time working on that project in between prepping for this. But the thing about it is, in the reflection, I've had an opportunity to see the ups and downs of life and to remember the ups and downs that we shared together. I saw them share it as a couple, and I got an opportunity to see the ups and downs that were shared as a family, the things that we went through. Because, when you move into marriage and all of that, I always say it's more, you get the whole thing. If they're family and friends that are grounded and really true to that idea of love, we all grow and we're all a part of that experience together. That is what it means about a family that prays together, stays together. So the wisdom of grandmother, her baby formula is flowing over to you. I jokingly say that that grandmother added prayer into the baby formula for me. Well, that prayer part is a part that I get to give away all again and again. It was sprinkled into me as a baby. There are some things that have been sprinkled into us from the beginning of our idea and that conception. And that's the part of us that is really pure, that we get to move into right here and right now. So when we talk about this, we're talking about growth, we're talking about renewal, we're talking about change, we're talking about all of this, and this is all a part of the nature of God. We're talking about the nature of growth. And I want you to hear this, and this is so important. I'm so glad that we have multi-generations here hearing this. And the reason I want us to hear this, it's because there is sacred wisdom, and this is wisdom that will grow within you again and again and again, each one of your ears. And this is what Ernest Holmes reminds us. He says, and I remember receiving this years ago when I was moving through a tough time. I want you to remember this when you're moving through your tough time. He says, nature will not let you stay in one place too long. The urge is forward, forever forward. The universe will never allow you to remain static. Evolution will bring you through the various experiences of life to the place where you will be compelled to let go of that, all that hinders the onward march of your soul. Love is tried and tested, and love is the enduring factor when you move through this process. Last week, I was in another community. In that community, I was sharing with them about Ernest Holmes, and that Ernest Holmes said if there was anything that he would do different, in terms of his body of work, is he would have spoken more about love. Because love is the navigator. Love will move you through. Love will point the way. It says, love, and it does point the way. As a matter of fact, that's part of his quote. And the law makes it possible. So when we are intentional, this morning we were intentional. We were going through that turbulence. But the intention was we were going to move through it. When I get on a plane and I'm traveling, what I like to do is I move into the sacred space and holy space, and I know what my role is because I'm flying with the pilot, the co-pilot. I'm all a part of that team, and prayer is an important part of it. So I'll be slipping in, next thing you know, it's like, what's she doing? She's just having that moment, and I deepen in consciousness then. I'm deepening and I'm praying with the team. I'm showing up with the team Matter of fact, that's just part of the course of life. So when we open ourselves up to this, what happens is we are able to move through, and we get to move through turbulence, the shaking loose of old patterns, because normally it is about releasing old patterns, attachments, illusions. And without that movement, there would be no becoming. That couple would have not lasted 41 years if they were not true to their hearts. And that I want you to say, I want you to hear, it is important for you to determine first that you are a vibrational match. That's an important part because I can hear people in the back of my mind. But part of that is being true to love. And when you are your true, authentic self, then it opens you up to the truth of being. So, where in your life is Spirit nudging you to grow in love right now? Just want you to think about that. And if you feel comfortable, just type it in the chat. This is something we'll probably pray into when we bring this to a close. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh approaches the idea of love in a different way. This is in Teachings of Love. He says, beginning anew is not easy. And whenever there's turbulence and there's the shaking away, we get an opportunity to begin anew. Reverend Larry is beginning anew with his system because we had to approach it in a different way. And all of his pictures, all of those things are gone. They're gone. And we don't have access to them again. I told him, I said, we'll deal with that later. We'll bring them back. We know how to bring the things that are important back into the space. There was a story many years ago I used to hear. They say when you lose $1 million, you can get it back as quick. And the reason you can get it back as quickly is because you have a mental equivalent. We can go and bring those things that are important. The important part is to be intentional with the process. So Thich Nhat Hanh says, beginning anew is not easy. We have to transform our hearts and our minds in very practical ways. Beginning anew is not to ask for forgiveness. Beginning anew is to change your mind and heart, to transform the ignorance that brought about the wrong actions. I love that. Compassionate listening is crucial. We listen with the willingness to relieve the suffering of the other people, not to judge or argue. And when we relieve that suffering for the other people, we end up relieving it for ourselves. I had a member of the community and we were having a conversation and they were sharing with me how they had a tiff and how they were regretful of that tiff that they had with the beloved. And we did some prayer work on that, the opening of the heart, the transformation of the heart, and to move beyond those old patterns, the shallow patterns. I'm going to call them shallow patterns of what we talk about forgiveness, because forgiveness is deep and powerful. And when we learn the power of that, what we're able to do is we're able to support the mending of many hearts. That is the important part. I think Al Green wrote a song, and in the song he says, how do you mend a broken heart? Love, when we're moving through this process and applying love, we're allowing for the healing of our heart. Now, it's important for us to be in that space of being approachable. And being approachable in the space of love is to be in gratitude. And when we move into gratitude, gratitude becomes a watering seed of joy. It's not a superficial gratitude. It is looking to see where love is alive. And it may not appear to be connected with that particular circumstance, but when we move into gratitude, it starts to help you bring the pieces together. It starts to help you in the mending of what appears to be a broken heart. Honest sharing about your hurt. Last week, I was in another community and we talked about being in that space and honoring yourself. And when you are hurting, to say, darling, I am hurting. I'm opening up to something new and to have an honest conversation about that. Most of the time, we move into that and we move into it when we're sharing our hurt and our pain. We also move into a space of blaming. But it's not about blaming. I'm remembering and reflecting because this 48 hours has been about relationships. And I'm remembering being a newlywed. We were telling the story about our experience. But part of that process of learning to be in a relationship with Reverend Larry, there was some turbulence, and there were some things we had to learn how to get on the same page, and we had to learn how to love each other, not to blame or shame each other. We had to learn how to do all of those things and to have sacred and honest communication. That requires skill. It also requires that we be courageous and we flex the muscle of having that conversation in the name of love. I think our bowls want to participate in this process. And then the other part of this is to return back to your intention. And returning back to your intention, we get an opportunity to review, to refresh, and then to move forward. I've had instances all because of certain intentions, and I thought I knew better than the infinite. And there were some mistakes that I made. But to be able to go back and refresh yourself, to be in a place of amends where we allow love to expand itself and we get an opportunity to choose. And that choice is compassion. The question is, how does compassion show up? Over resentment. To rise above any sense of resentment. This is part of the healing process. So we contrast these two. Holmes, he talks about growth as the law of life, love, growing as the law of life. And then there is Thich Nhat Hanh, which talks about beginning anew as a practice of love. The commitment is always to use love as our default. The commitment is to allow for this application to show up in our life. And it can show up in our life, in the work, and it can show up in our relationships, our families, and our communities. And I'm planting the seed right now. I want us to contemplate this idea of love and how we walk and how we show up in the world and how we can be a beneficial presence in the world, how we can be a healing presence. The gift that Denise Rosier gives us as a songwriter and the gift that she gives us as a performer is really sweet because it brings about and it touches the heart, and it's compassion in action where we get an opportunity to remember the truth of who we are. I'm going to say that same skill set is alive within each and every one of us. If you're breathing right now, it is there. And part of our work is to discover. Last week, I was sharing a wonderful story about a group of children between the ages of 4 and 8. And they were asked, what does love mean? Matter of fact, I'm going to send out a question, and I'm hoping that the parents will engage their children. I even have a special request for Zoe and Marcus. The question is, it says, what does love mean? I want to hear from our youth because there's profound wisdom. This young man said, when someone loves you, the way they say your name is different. You just know that your name is safe in their mouth. I want us to really breathe that in. Their name your name is safe in their mouth. So when I speak a person's name, knowing that when I speak their name is safe in my mouth, their mouth. I had an experience, I had a God experience. It was almost like a mystical experience many years ago. I was moving through something, and love came to visit me. And when love came to visit me, love chose to visit me in the safest manner. See, I want you to know that in my growing up, although I was blessed by grandmother and her gift about being in prayer, and her message was traditional, and it came from the traditional way we did church. We came from a Baptist background, and part of this process was we spent a lot of time focusing on sin and mistakes. So we could hear these things. You're just a miserable sinner. And if you could imagine children, and I'm speaking on behalf of children everywhere, how they move through life thinking they were less than because they were sinners. They didn't even understand the word sinner. I was an adult and didn't understand the word sinner until somewhere along the way I got the message in the translation. You made a mistake. That's all it is. So her grandmother's approach was, I want all of my children to be saved. I want you to breathe that in. Part of being saved is being an instrument where the divine shows up with you, and being an instrument knowing that when people enter your zone, you are in a place of safety. A lot of people have moved into that place of forgetfulness. And when we move into a place of forgetfulness, things become chaotic. We begin to do things that are unimaginable. Part of the process is our learning how to grow in love. And when we learn how to grow in love, then we begin to become who we have been called here to be. So love requires practice. It requires that we are tender and true, that we are secure, that we are alive. I can't wait to next week. We're going to have our Taizé service. And I keep hearing different artists that are calling, that are saying they want to be in there. I can hear one of our artists, and he says, I know what love is. Love is tender and true. And there is a richness to that. I want you to know it's alive within you. And it transforms itself when we let it be. So often we don't want to change our minds and hearts, yet we still expect a dramatic change in our lives and relationship. Matter of fact, we become so prideful. I ain't changing my mind. Oh no, you know that's not going to happen. But you know what? That's being static. Nature is not going to tolerate that. And nature has the final word. So part of this is opening ourselves up to be pliable, where the divine can rise within us. And the most important part is to remember that when the divine rises within us, we're always safe. Our name is safe. So I'll go back to that time I heard my name being called. I woke up and I knew it was the voice of spirit. But the voice of spirit had shown itself in a sacred way. It was in the quality of where I could feel safe with love. It was my beloved husband calling my name, and I was having a sacred experience with God. When we trust in God and we open ourselves up. Now, some of you may say, Reverend Jerry, I have this thing about God. I don't like that name. Well, what I'm going to say to you give God another name. You can give God the name of love. I like that too. Letting love have its way. So there isn't much logic to this, yet we get an opportunity to realize and engage in this, what appears to be illogical, counterintuitive, um, facing problems, not only in love, but also allowing that loving presence to show up in every area of your life. And if you're experiencing this, and if it's not expressing the way you want it, maybe it is time for you to take ownership of what you truly can do to change your mind and to change your heart. In the Mary Morrissey class right now, Sandy continues to remind me, she says, you know what, do what you can from where you're at. That's part of the process of healing. When we open our heart, when it seems that, or it feels like we have been hurt or harmed, to begin to do what we can do from where we're at makes a difference. Years ago, I was in a special community and I was living my best life, and my heart was broken. There was a major change, and that major change, it felt callous. It felt hurtful and harmful. And it was very difficult for me to even have a sacred conversation on it. It was very painful. But I'll tell you, the most important part of the process was me going back to these tried and true principles, remembering that love is the most important thing, that I can take and send love into all of these areas. What it did was it taught me about the commitment. And this is a commitment I'm going to ask of you today. As you move forward, to be bold, to be courageous, and to be daring. And when you are able to do this, then what happens is your heart will begin to shape itself in ways you know not of. It will be able to do the things and create the passage. You'll be able to do the dance like Reverend Larry did when he was in the most terrifying hour, one of the most terrifying hours of his life. We could have been killed in a car accident in that experience. But when we allow for the default, those spiritual principles to show up in our lives, and we practice them in our daily lives, it makes a difference. So that allows for us to be courageous. It allows for us to have something. When I was in ministerial school, we used to talk about having something in our back pocket, just in case something shows up. It helps you to have a prepared consciousness. Our practice, our stillness, and grounding ourselves, melding ourselves, as Holmes has shares in terms of his wisdom, and Thich Nhat Hanh in terms of the power of practice and compassion and renewal, it all comes together. And it takes us back to Romans, one of my favorite Bible verses. There's a song out there with it, and the song is, if God be for us, who can be against us? And the answer is no thing. So my question to you is, what is one area of your life you've been waiting for life to change out there, but Spirit is asking you to change your heart and your mind inside of here? Just be with that for a moment. And as you are with that this moment, I have a special call to action, and Amber's going to place it on the screen, and we're going to move into the prayer process momentarily. Before that, we'll move into our call and response. But the call to action right now is for you to let go of waiting. Sometimes we sit and we wait our whole lives, and our whole lives are wasted. And then we finally discover the power of love. I've had many instances where I've sat with families that loved each other, but they didn't know how to love and didn't discover the power of love until those last minutes or last hours to sit with them and saying, I love you. Do you love me? Or to be in the space and realizing that they had wasted their lives because of their ego. I just want you to hear this. So the call to action right now is to send love out there into the world, to allow that loving presence to penetrate you, guide you, and support you, where you know the next impulsion in terms of how to negotiate or move into the space with those that are nearest and dearest to your heart, allowing for the mending of a broken heart, and begin the new renewal. Wake up every day ready for renewal and change, allowing for that wonderful presence to expand itself and grow itself within you. Every morning, if you can do that, the universe will support you with the grace of its beauty. It begins to do the things that Grandma did in the preparation of my formula. It puts a little extra something in there to support you and sustain you for all of your life. And then the final thing is, I'm going to ask you to step boldly into the growth. Spirit is calling you to embody. There's a growth within each and every one of us. And that growth sometimes may seem very daunting. It could be very challenging. And you may say, I don't even know what the first step is. It's okay for you not to know the first step. I remember love was calling me to do something bold and challenging. And it appeared not to be safe. And the reason it appeared not to be safe is because I was in my comfort zone. But that bold move is the bold move that brought me here. And that was the day when I said, okay, it's time for me to start phasing out. I was on a 9-to-5 job. This is serving my purpose right now, but it is not supporting me in terms of my growth. But that bold move got me to where I'm at right now, having this conversation with you, moving forward in that ever and ever expanding consciousness. So I'm going to invite you to deepen. And if there is something that's calling you right now and you need some prayer on, post it here in the chat. We're going to address that momentarily. But right now, I want us to move into our Afro incantation. And we're having a sacred conversation today. That sacred conversation is with Spirit. And I want you all to join me, and you'll notice that we did you a favor this time. Love always believes in setting us all up to succeed. You'll notice that there's the gold writing. That gold writing is your response. The black writing is my response. I'm going to do the call, you will respond. And we are addressing those things that appear to be in the way. And we have a voice. I want you to hear your voice. So I need you to speak. And I'm going to invite everyone that are here in this sacred space to unmute yourself as you respond. We're going to do this 3 times. And the reason we do it 3 times is I want you to know the echoes of repetition are very, very important for us. That supports us, that memory muscle. It helps us to flex it. And that is an important part, especially when you're challenged. Like when you say, you hear when Reverend Larry says, we got a problem. We can breathe and we know, so I can flex the muscle. And at that time, I was flexing the muscle, spiritual mind treatment. I was fairly new, to spiritual mind treatment at that time, but I was practicing it again and again. That's how we get to Carnegie Hall. That's how we move beyond. You get to the 10,000 hours. And I'm like the Beatles now. I have more than 100,000 hours. But you have to get to the 10,000 hours in order to get to the 100,000 hours. That revelation was something that showed up in the turbulence of this week. So pay attention to life. So with this in mind right now, I want you to unmute yourself. I want you to speak your words with confidence, authority, and vigor. Okay? Ready? And here we are. When turbulence shakes me, what's your response? Unmute yourself. Speak it. Love
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 steady.
steadies
steadies
me.
me.
Okay. When fear surrounds me,
Spirit grounds me.
Grounds
there you
me.
go. Nothing can uproot the presence within me,
God's
God's
love is my
love is
love.
my love.
and my love is resilient.
My
My
love is
love is
resilient.
resilient.
Okay, we got it. Okay, I'm going to invite the others now. We have those that have already done this. Unmute yourselves and let's go for it. When turbulence shakes me,
Turbulence shakes me.
Love
Love
steadies me.
Love
steadies
stays
me.
me.
when fear surrounds me,
Fear surrounds me.
Spirit grounds
Spirit
me.
grounds me.
Spirit grounds me.
nothing can uproot the presence within me.
Nothing can uproot the
God's
God's
presence
love
love is
is
my
my
love.
love.
my love.
My love is resilient.
Love is
My
My
resilient.
love
love
is
is
resilient.
resilient.
Okay, so every time you hear my voice, you're to listen and to come up with the response. We're going to do it again. The third time is the charm. Here we go. When turbulence shakes
Turbulence
me,
shakes me. Spirit grounds me.
Love
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 steadies
steadies
me.
me.
sustains me.
when fear surrounds me,
Spirit
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 grounds
grounds
me.
grounds
me.
me.
Spirit grounds me.
nothing can unroot the presence within me,
Nothing can uproot the
God's
God's
presence
love
within
God's
me.
love
is
is
love is
my
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 love.
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 God is
and
my
my
love.
love is resilient.
My love is
My
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 love
resilient.
is
love
love
is
is
resilient.
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 There we go. I want you to remember that your love is always resilient. And when you move into turbulence, always remember, just take that as a mantra. Love steadies me. When you're moving through that experience, when fear surrounds you, just remember, spirit grounds me. And always remember that there is resilience in your love, and that resilience will move you from glory to glory to glory. I always say that when you are in that space, you come out smelling like a rose. That would be the wisdom that came from the ancestors. And I'm going to invite you right now to hear a song. This song is a perfect song. We had it done at Christmas time. That was our gift. And normally when we do music and our music program, I always choose a song that is not necessarily a Christmas, quote unquote, Christmas song, but it's a song we can use all year long. And Spirit told me today, as we
It
were
ain't help.
praying, is that we should, the song that it told me, and we're going to mute those people that are talking right now, it told me this would be the right song for today to remind you that you are more than able. Whatever it is that's coming up for you, where you seem challenged, there's a newness getting ready to take place. I want you to hear this song. And while you're hearing this song, take a moment and I'm inviting you to put in your the chat those things you would like for us to pray on today.
You are more than able. You are more than able. Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? Can you imagine, with all of the faith in the room, what the Lord can do? What the Lord can do? And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just like the way you make it through. He's gonna move. He's gonna move. Can you imagine, with all the faith in the room, what the Lord can do? What the Lord can do? And it's gonna happen. Just like the way you make it through. He's gonna move. He's gonna move. And can you imagine, with all of the faith in the room, what the Lord can do? What the Lord can do? And it's gonna happen, just like the way you make it through. He's gonna move. He's gonna move. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? Who am I to deny what the Lord can You are more than able. 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 Who am I to deny what the Lord can do?
Love and law, the Lord can do. Faith in the law, practice with love, allowing the nature of life to fulfill itself, the seed of hope. I'm inviting you right here, right now, to just breathe with me. I'm inviting you in this very moment to anchor in the space of unconditional love. I'm inviting you to simply feel the presence right now. And as we're moving into this space of the presence, we move into the space and we turn more directly towards the presence of love. We move into this space and we simply allow love to shine, allow that light to advance itself, allow for that light to expand itself as sacred wisdom, as a practical experience, as the beauty and the dance of life. And in this very moment, right here, right now, we breathe, we honor the presence, and we allow love to grow beyond that which we cannot even imagine. We're allowing for love to express itself as sacred wisdom, sacred truth, sacred blessing. We're allowing right now for something powerful to grow beyond that which we cannot even imagine. We're allowing love. So I invite you right now to join me on my travel journey. And I'm inviting you to move with me with love into sacred spaces, holy spaces. I'm inviting you to be a place of safety with the words that are being spoken right here, right now, knowing that there is safe passage and safe travel, that our actions are filled with compassion, and that there is joy and gratitude and peace, and that there is reverence right here, right now. So I just take this moment and I'm just speaking the names and knowing that that presence is here. It's right where Reverend Larry is. It's right where Amber is. It's right where our curator of our prayer heart, Jim, is. It's in Constance and Kathy. And it's alive right now, right where Keto is. And our Dr. Liza, Marcus, and Zoe. It is present right where Lisa is. It's present, fully orbed, expressing itself right here, right now, in this space with Unica. It's in Sandy. It is life fulfilling itself. It is the joy of living. It is the peace that passeth all understanding. We take this moment now and bring into the sacred and holy space. I'm allowing for the presence of the divine to show up as Reverend Dr. Renee Hart. We bring Cindy here into this space. We're bringing into this space now perfect love, and we bring Connor here into this space. And we bring, I'm going to speak Cameron's name into this space, and Brianna's, all of our Briannas. We bring Maria here into this space. We're allowing love and allowing that love to extend beyond. So we bring our entire family. I bring Billy and Alfred into this space. I'm bringing into this space Wayne Valentine, his whole family. We bring here into this space the grace of God. And as we bring this wonderful presence and this light here into this space, we take this moment and this breath to align and know that that same power is everywhere in our sacred travels. And so we travel and we move all the way down into Mexico. We're traveling right now. I'm traveling with the Hobbies and their loving presence. We travel all the way to Atlanta. I traveled to Colorado. I'm inviting us to be bold right now. We're going to travel to the Ukraine. We travel to Russia. We travel to Gaza, Israel, and the Sudan. We travel all over the globe and allowing the power of love to expand its capacity to be the center and the circumference. We travel, and wherever we travel, we allow the light of love to be the power of expansion. We travel and allow this energy to express itself, its truth and wisdom. And in this sacred space, right here, right now, we take this moment now to know that there is the smooth sailing of the divine. For I'm knowing that if God be for us, then who or what can be against us? And as we are acknowledging this power and this presence right here, right now, we acknowledge the quaking, the breaking away, the breaking down of the things that no longer serve. We're traveling right here, right now, and honoring the presence. We honor the light. We honor peace. We honor love. And we honor a world that works for us all, that is everywhere present in everything. We travel and we walk with our leaders right now, knowing that there is a powering presence. And in this powering presence, maybe perhaps the static is simply the breaking down. Maybe perhaps the static is opening up to new and powerful ways of being and living in the world. Maybe perhaps the static is the pioneering presence of the divine. Maybe perhaps the static is divine love in action. Love growing, love revealing, love expressing, love as the divine light of truth. Knowing that this presence is alive right here, right now, I speak my word and I behold the truth. And know that that energy and that power is alive, it thrives, and it has already fulfilled itself. It's moved into all the holy, all the sacred spaces within our experience, and it is the divine reverence of life. It is that presence that prepares the way. It is the presence that animates itself. And in this presence, in this animation, I know that the seed of good is right there. It is the presence that walks with us as we walk in life. It walks and it fulfills itself with confidence. It is that divine light that is a healing power. It is a divine navigator, and it knows what to do and how to do it. It is the divine litigator. And what I'm knowing is that if God be for us, then who or what can be against us? So in this very moment, I'm sending the power, knowing that the power of love has already crossed the threshold of our being. And as it has crossed the threshold of our being, I'm acknowledging it and knowing that it is that divine power that knows what to do. It knows how to steer. It knows how to move us in the right direction, in the right circumstances, with the right people, in the right way. That this divine presence is the divine making of love, fulfilling itself as peace and harmony, as joy, as life, as soul fulfillment. So I'm acknowledging this presence now. I know that it is the steadfast presence, that it is the guide, that it is the divine great companion. And in this sacred companion, in this sacred relationship, I know that peace prevails, that peace is awakened, that the gift of the divine is the presence. And in this sacred space, right here, right now, I know healing, I know God, and I know joy. And so what I'm knowing is this power has already revealed itself, and I rejoice and I am in gratitude for it and its practical fulfillment in our lives. The naming of this truth and the naming of peace and harmony. So I speak my word and know this truth to be so. I acknowledge it everywhere within everyone I've spoken, including Zaire. I know that she is blessed beyond that which she cannot imagine. And it is in this space with love that I release this into the action of universal law. And we all affirm together. And so it is. Amen. Amen. And Ashe. Thank you for being here. I want you to know how much I appreciate you and your presence. And I'm sending you love right now. I want to share with you some things that are happening in our community quickly. And then a couple more announcements. And then we're going to share a special song with you that we haven't shared with you before. And we're going to give kudos to Reverend Larry because he helped create this song. Take it away, Amber, with our announcements.
It's coffee and tea time. Take a moment to refill your cup, settle in, and share sacred space as we highlight what's blooming in our spiritual community. It's August, and we're gently winding into the fall, a new season filled with possibility and purpose. This month, we focus on the power of will. Will is the inner force that fuels our follow-through. It aligns us with the velocity of the divine, that sacred momentum that says, "Thy will be done." It reminds us that we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. As we move into this new rhythm, here are some things unfolding in our Seed FM community to support your growth, clarity, and commitment. Vision Sunday, August 31st. Special 1-hour community meeting immediately after our Taizé inspired service on Zoom. Join us as we introduce the Seed FM 2026 onboarding journey, a powerful next step in our evolution as a virtual sanctuary and spiritual community. This meeting is essential for all leaders, practitioners, and engaged members. Save the date. Stay after service, be part of the vision. And save the date, Seed FM Open House Celebration, Sunday, October 26, 2025. More details coming soon. We need your help. Expand our tech team. We're building our tech ambassador team, and tech experience is not required. Training is included. You'll help power our virtual ministry and events. This is a great way to serve and grow in community. Interested? Send a note to Amber or Reverend Jerry in the chat. Thank you for your joyful giving. Your generosity is transforming lives. Because of you, Seed FM continues to expand its virtual reach, uplift hearts, and update our technology to serve more people with ease and grace. Ways to give. You can Zelle 909-641-1066 or text to give 909-217-3504. Scan the QR code on our screen to access our link tree with all giving options. And thank you for being a blessing to this ministry and to the world. Beloveds, let us affirm the truth of abundance together, anchoring our faith in divine provision. Say this with me 3 times. Vast sums of money, big, happy, financial surprises, and rich, appropriate gifts are coming to me now. Under grace, in perfect ways, for my personal use, and I use them wisely. So let's repeat this, and this time with intention. Vast sums of money, big, happy financial surprises, and rich, appropriate gifts are coming to me now, under grace, in perfect ways, for my personal use, and I use them wisely. Let's do it once more, and let's fill it even deeper. Vast sums of money, big, happy financial surprises, and rich, appropriate gifts are coming to me now, under grace, in perfect ways, for my personal use, and I use them wisely. Let's take a breath and let that energy move through you. We're growing, giving, and glowing together. And thank you for being a part of this sacred community. You matter here, and so it is.
Okay, that was wonderful. Great, great, great. So there are a couple of things I want you to be aware of. Next Sunday is our Taze service, first of all. I want you to be here at the Taze service. This is when we bring it all together, the love part together. And we're going to be doing some sacred work. It has a lot to do with our spoken word and learning how to shape our words in ways that empower and support and nurture. So please be a part of this. We're going to have some really good music. I think we have a special song coming from Amber. We're not going to tell them about it, Amber. We're just going to surprise them, right? Yeah. And it's going to be good and it's going to be wonderful. See there, I got the heart. And so I want you to do that. And then afterwards, we're going to have a meeting. It's about onboarding our vision as we move into our 9th year. We have our anniversary coming up in October. And I'm inviting you to get ready for it. It's going to be a spectacular event. I'm going to bring some sample masks we're going to be doing because the theme is unmasking the truth. I want you to be playful with the theme. I want you to go and get your mask, whatever your mask looks like. I'm going to bring you some samples in terms of what they look like, and maybe perhaps Reverend Dr. Renee will have one also. But that's going to be really, really wonderful. And there are a lot of other happy surprises. We are gearing ourselves up for 2025. We're gearing ourselves up and training ourselves how to move through the different seasons of our life. Your attendance at that event after the Taze is important. I've asked our leadership and our practitioners and all of our key members, that includes you, if you're hearing my voice, whether you're here in this room or on the social platform, to be there, because your intent, your presence makes a difference, and there's some things that you can do in terms of helping us. I want to give away, and you can't see this here, I'm going to give away this here. I have a giveaway because I asked people to tell me where they thought I was. And Dr. Liza, I think she's on her way back, taking Zoe back to school. And she was intentional, first of all. She pulled over and was present with us. That tells a whole lot. This clearly is an important part of her life. So I'm going to give her a giveaway because she did respond and she said she thought she knew where I was. So the kid says, "You're at home." And then Dr. Liza says she's in our office. I'm at home and I am in my office. And I chose this background because I said, oh, this looks like I'm probably in Hawaii. I have a vision of going back to Hawaii. That's where I spent my honeymoon and my family all being there, including my extended family. Wouldn't that be wonderful? We're on the beach and maybe perhaps I'll grab one of my colleagues and we'll renew our vows, Reverend Larry and I. But I'm giving away this card set. I only have a few left of them. So it is vintage. It's a collector's item. And it is meditation vibration cards from the key. I'm going to send that to her. That's what she got. And we'll send them some hearts also. Thank you for engaging with us. And I want to share something special. And this here is to awaken the possibilities in you right now. And what I want to awaken is the possibility of being a seed ambassador, tech ambassador. Reverend Larry and he gave me a song for his Wednesday program, and we're going to close with that song. The reason we're closing is Reverend Larry participated in the co-creation. It wasn't just me doing it. It was him, and he had his hands in it also. We want to talk to you, and we're going to share some things how you can put your hands in the process of supporting Seed FM with our technology. Next week we'll have a deeper conversation. Take it away, Amber. This is our close, and then we'll say goodbye to Facebook, and we'll have a brief conversation with everybody else.
All right, just to answer one of Edwin's questions. I hail from the fine city of Compton, California. And I got to tell you something. You spent a little time in Compton back when I was there. You didn't hear as much of that last song and a little bit more of this. This is called If You're Gonna Ask for More, Get Ready to Get. Yeah. The climb, right? 1, 2. Well, you got the right to be happy. You got the right to feel blue. And you got the right to keep on pushing now. No, don't do no changes if you don't want to. Whoa, but if you're gonna ask, well, then get ready to get. See, some people say what they don't like, and then they live with what they don't like. And once they live with what they don't like, all they want to do is talk about what they don't like. Oh, but if you're gonna ask for more, get ready to get. Oh, get ready. Get ready when you say the word. Get ready. Get ready 'cause the universe is heard. If you say it and you feel it's true, you know that God can't help it but to do it through you. What you say is what it is, and what it is what you say. So if you think, want to move a little higher, and say the word, and the truth will set you free. Oh, but if you're gonna ask for more, get ready to get. Oh. You say the word and the truth will set you free. Oh, and if you're gonna ask for more, oh, if you're gonna ask for more, oh, if you're gonna ask for more, get ready to get. Get ready, get ready, get. Ha! Get ready, get ready, get ready, ready, get ready, get ready, get. Get feel it, gotta be true, it's true for you. Get feel it, it's gotta be true, it's true for you. If you say it, if you claim it, if you say it, and if you claim it, it's gotta be true. Get ready, get. Get say it, get ready, get. If you claim it, get ready, get. If you feel it, get ready, get. If you feel it, get ready, get. If you say it, if you feel it, claim it, if you feel it, you say it, if you feel it, claim it, get ready, get. Get ready, get.
And there we are. That was extraordinary, Reverend Larry. Thank you so much for that video. That was a lot of fun. That's part of how we shake things up as we move through life and let love do what love needs to do. I'm going to say goodbye to our Facebook audience. Check us out this week. We got a lot of great things happening in this community. And of course, we'll be back next Sunday in a special way. Bye-bye, Facebook.